Another component of the language that often interferes with our kids relates to prosody, the way that I communicate with other people aside from just the words that I use. So these might include things like pitch, stress, volume, rhythm. I communicate with other people using these things even when I have the same words. So for example, I might say, oh, we're going to the zoo today. That means something different to most people than if I said, oh, we're going to the zoo today. Most people understand that in the former, I wasn't sure about which day we were going, and in the latter, I wasn't sure about where we were going. This communicates information to other people even though the words are the same. And children with autism often have difficulty understanding those differences and using those differences. We have a tendency to try and communicate more information with volume, but in and of itself, that's difficult for kids with autism. The last component related to the language is a kid's ability to use it as a part of conversations with other people. So a child with autism may have the ability to use language to label and request and answer questions, but can he or she carry on conversations with others? This is typically dictated by one or a combination of the following three things: interest, language ability, and flexibility. So related to the interest, a kid with autism may have the ability to use language to have conversation, but not the motivation to do so. He or she might not be interested in carrying on that conversation. So for example, a kid with autism may be interested in antique fans or antique radios or remote control cars and be willing to carry on conversations about those topics for long periods of time. But often peers are not motivated to do that, and the things that peers want to talk about may not be motivating to children with autism, and that will interfere with their ability to have a conversation. And with regard to the language abilities, obviously if I don't have much language, I can't have conversations with peers. If I don't have a broad repertoire of words and ways in which to use them, I won't be able to carry on conversations with other people. So with regard to the flexibility, even if a kid with autism has the interest and the language abilities to have conversations, he or she may not have the ability to maintain them over time. So many of our conversations begin with a handful of scripts. There are just a few ways in which we begin conversations. Where are you from? Where do you live? What do you do? After that, they go in any number of different directions, and you or I need to be flexible with regard to what direction those go in. Children with autism have a problem with the flexibility of maintaining the conversation. So the further we get from those initial scripts, the more difficult it's going to be for a kid with autism.